like to be honest, I haven't even spent a single cent on Facebook in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is going on, you guys? Jonathan Zamora here for the 8th episode of Impact Ecom. Today, I have Ariel Franklin with me, the TikTok god. I will introduce him right after the intro. How are everyday people like us building profitable brands and getting products that they believe in into the hands of their customers? This podcast is about entrepreneurs and the lessons behind the brands they've built. I'm Jonathan Zamora, and this is Impact Ecom. All right, what is going on, my man?
Nothing much. How about you? Just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, doing fantastic, man. Ariel came out here from California, right?
Yep, correct.
He's out here in Arizona with us, just hanging out. He's been teaching us a ton about TikTok. Ariel has a crazy backstory that I want to dive into, but just to kind of preface him, me and Ariel met about 3 years ago, and at that point, you were working with a lot of influencers, some Facebook ads, and since then, you've kind of dove a little bit deeper into TikTok ads, and just recently, you launched a couple of stores from zero and did, I think it was $72,000 in 8 days. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
That's insane, dude. That is absolutely nuts. Yeah. So I want to definitely dive into that. I think there's probably going to be a ton of strategies and tactics that we'll be able to talk about there. But just overview, can you kind of just give everybody a little bit better of an idea of who you are and kind of how you got into entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So, just like every other person, broke college kid, another one of those stories. I just was just in college and I didn't like my life prospects of being in a cubicle like for like 40 years for 8 hours a day, and then enjoying life at age of 65 and all that good stuff. And I was like desperate at that point. So I looked out online and I looked up, wholesaling real estate, all this, becoming a real estate agent. And then I stumbled along, make money online.
Right.
And then one thing led to another. And then I found e-commerce, and long story short, I came across drop shipping, and that kind of just changed my life essentially.
That's crazy. Yeah. So what time period was that? That 2017, 18?
I want to say late 2017.
Okay, so right around the time that me and you first initially met. And I remember whenever you were first kind of getting into drop shipping, you were pretty heavy into influencers, weren't you?
Yeah, that's correct. I was mainly like the meme pages when they were like really unsaturated, when like drop shipping wasn't really like popular, right? And so like it was a whole different model. And now like you can go probably to those same pages and it probably won't convert as well.
Yeah. No, I mean they've become so saturated at this point. So do you use meme pages or like influencers at all anymore? Or is it...
I do, but not the scale that I used to. Because like back in those, pretty much they're all personal brands at this point. They're someone with a face behind it. And with that being said, there's a lot more logistics, so I'm not doing it at the scale as I would like to, opposed to like a meme page where like you just send them the photo payment and then they post it.
Right. Okay. So, you kind of started with those influencers. I remember you had built up a pretty impressive brand whenever we were first talking, 2018. And then from that point, you kind of dove a little bit deeper into Facebook ads. And what was, I guess, for you, because a lot of people have experience with Facebook ads at this point, kind of know how the platform works. And a lot of the brand owners that watch this, are actively working on Facebook. What's some of the differences you've seen from TikTok, and why did you decide to kind of take that leap into TikTok and start working more so than on Facebook?
Yeah, so I think one thing for me, and I feel like a lot of people have this issue, is just bans and restrictions and like flags, and
it's the name of the game with Facebook at this point.
I know, right? Like for me it was like I was getting my like accounts banned like within like a week. Like I would like pop up a product and then I would lose the momentum and rinse and repeat, and like
that's so frustrating because you put in so much work to find a product, test it, and then get to that point.
Yeah, and you have bills to pay and this and that. Like you have real life to like go up against. And for me, it was like how could I change my business where I can have this streamline and get this bottleneck out of the way? And I was just testing a lot of different things. I tried out Snapchat. I still do a little bit of Snapchat to this day, but not anything where like, okay, this is my main source of revenue.
Right.
And then so I was just trying a lot of different things pretty much, right? And then I tried out TikTok. Actually, my very first time trying TikTok, it didn't work.
Okay.
But this was like a year before now.
Oh, so you were like one of the early adopters.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
But it didn't work out. So essentially, the very first product I tested on TikTok was like custom necklaces.
Okay.
So imagine putting your name like John, or like astrology sign like Capricorn or like Libra.
Right.
And I tested it. It would get sales. And like this would die out. So like, and then I just like never visited TikTok ever again. And then I just went back to Facebook and just dealt with the inconsistencies and whatnot. Right. And don't get me wrong, Facebook is still very profitable. Still, I would say top dog in the digital marketing realm, in my personal opinion.
100%, I agree.
But
unfortunately,
yeah. But it's just like people naturally just use Facebook and Instagram on their day-to-day lives. But yeah, going back to your point, eventually I revisited TikTok. I want to say 2-3 months ago, very recent. And then I just never looked back.
That's crazy. And so before we kind of dive into that like crazy case study that you have of TikTok, between you testing it 12 months ago roughly to in the last 2 months testing it, do you feel like the reason that it is working now is because the products are different, or do you feel like it's the platform has evolved? Because for me, seeing in the last year, TikTok has rapidly evolved way faster than Instagram and Facebook currently are, because it's such a young platform and the audience that's currently on there is so different. Do you feel like it's that evolve, or do you think it's the product that was the difference?
I think it was the platform, in my opinion. I feel like if I gave it a little bit more spend and maybe tested a few more things, I could probably made it have worked, but you obviously never know.
I guess the better question would have been, do you think if you took that same product now and tested it now, it would work better than it did a year ago?
I would say probably not.
No? Okay.
No, I would say because at that time, I think TikTok ads was don't quote me on this, maybe a couple months old.
Yeah, no, I remember when TikTok came out. It's a very new platform.
So at that time, I think TikTok ads was maybe 60 days old, or maybe roughly around that time frame. And it was very different to what it is now, even just looking at the back and just comparing them.
Right.
But yeah, to answer your questions, I would say very much so the platform.
Okay. Interesting. And so you launched these products for you kind of whenever you were thinking about launching back onto TikTok. Did you have some certain things in mind where you're like, okay, it's a younger audience, or were you kind of just, testing the same products that you'd be testing on Facebook? Was there any difference?
To be honest, I just said, hey, I'm going to try out TikTok one more time, and it just worked. To be honest with you, I just had a thought in my mind and just threw money at it, and it just worked, to be honest. So I guess it's probably not the answer you're looking for, but
no worries.
I just tried it again. I just worked so well to the point where I just had tunnel vision on TikTok to the point where I didn't I had to be honest, I haven't even spent a single cent on Facebook in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Well, I think even what you're saying here is persistence pays, and so it's I feel like a lot of the times as an entrepreneur, it's so easy to be like, it's not going to make a difference. But, for you, it's let me just try it one more time and see what ends up happening. And, here it actually ended up paying off quite a bit. So walk me through what it was like, that first week of you going through testing these products, we're ramping them up to 72,000 the first 8 days.
Yeah.
What was that process like?
So prior to this, I did have a previous winner.
Okay.
Obviously.
On Facebook?
No, on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I had this previous winner did 0 to 60 in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
No.
No.
So this is a different case study on top of this.
Okay.
So this one was actually working on Facebook a little bit, not really scalable. So, but I knew it was a winning product. I know it's not the best mentality to have, if it doesn't work, don't force it.
Right.
But I just tried it on TikTok and it worked. And then so ever since then, I just implemented my efforts into testing products on TikTok, pretty much what you would do on Facebook, and just doing it on a different platform essentially. So pretty much these two, because just to be transparent, the 0 to 72K is from two different stores. And Jonathan, this because I'm being onboarded as a client for both stores. Right.
For email.
For email, yeah. So for both stores, I tested them back to back essentially. So there were back to back winners. So the very first one was I don't want to give away my product, but
no worries, we can get this out. It's not a big deal.
It's a jewelry product, right? And you know what it is. So the jewelry product was the first one to pop off. And then I was like, okay, this is working really, really well. And then the second product, which is, I would say, memorabilia product, I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah. That product was the very next test, the very next day. And then for this second particular product, I know the KPIs. I spent about $100, maybe a little bit less than that. And it got a 15 ROAS. So $1,500 from $100.
Wow. So you had these two products back to back. You test product number one, that's popping off. Product number two, you test, and that one's a 15 ROAS.
Yes.
Jeez, man. Yeah. You can't even, I feel like you don't see that on Facebook anymore. Maybe 2018, early 2018, you'd see that. That's madness. And so what did the rest of the week kind of look like for you?
So the rest of the week, I just did a lot of what really worked. Obviously, I'm not gonna have a 15 ROAS every single day as you start scaling.
Right.
So it probably peter out to maybe a 4.55, maybe on a better day 6 and 7. But
that's still in madness.
But yeah, pretty much. So pretty much that rest of that week, as you guys know, pretty much 8 days, just for math purposes, went from 0 to 72 and just really ramped up spend. After I think week 2, and this, Jonathan, I have a hold, and now it's kind of petered out a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is with the e-commerce store. As you ramp up, sometimes there's going to be a variety of issues, whether it's fulfillment, payment processors. Right now, Ariel's dealing with, payment processors, and that's just how it goes. Yeah, absolute madness. 72K in 10 days. You know, you're scaling at a fast pace. That's absolute madness. And honestly, whenever I was running e-commerce stores, I would always, like maybe I'd have a product that would work a little bit, but I never actually had like the guts to be like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to go balls to the walls with this. But the numbers were there for you. And that kind of sounds like, that's how you're making the decisions as it should be with ads. For you, what are some of the differences that were surprising to you between Facebook and TikTok?
I think one thing is that, there's this misconception that like, oh, it's only a young audience.
Right.
But there's a lot of older people on TikTok. Like I look on my analytics, like a lot of my buyers are between the ages of like 25 to 34.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
so it surprises you. And not just that, a key stat that I learned another day, because, this is the main platform I make my income from. People will spend more time on TikTok than YouTube on average.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So,
yeah, because YouTube is like the king of attention. Right?
Yeah. So just, food for thought on how much attention is on TikTok. But going back to your question, what was it again? The differences between TikTok and...
Just anything that really surprised you between TikTok and Facebook. I mean, what you just said was already, pretty surprising for me.
I think one thing is just CPMs, like the CPMs on Facebook, depending on the product that you're testing. I noticed that each product is going to have a different CPM.
And just to preface, a CPM is basically how a advertising platform determines how much they're going to charge for 1,000 eyeballs.
Pretty much. So I noticed that you can get a CPM like sometimes under $1.
Really?
Yes. Maybe like 95 cents, like on the tip of $1.
But
like,
still, that's like crazy. Yeah. Which basically means that there's way more attention than they have advertisers at this point. That's incredible.
To like maybe $4, $4 to $5. Wow. Depending on like the product that you're promoting.
What were you seeing average CPM on Facebook when you kind of hopped on? Because I haven't ran ads in such a long time.
For me, I mean, I haven't done it in like the whole of 2021. So I would say for me, maybe like $6, $7, $8, maybe like up to like 15, depending if it's like a much more competitive product or niche.
Right. Okay. So CPMs is one of those things. I mean, the amount of attention, like you said, more than YouTube, which is incredible. Is there anything else that was like, like that's actually kind of weird?
Lower cost per clicks as well.
Yeah.
So like you would get cost per clicks for like anywhere between like 5 to like 15 cents.
Wow.
So imagine you're getting these low CPMs and low cost per clicks.
The traffic is just absolute madness.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I do notice one thing on a negative notation is that you have lower conversion rates.
Oh,
so
yeah. Absolutely.
But so it might be like lower quality traffic, I would say. But like even then, like when you're bringing so much traffic in, like, there's so much people that it's going to convert so well.
Right.
Like, for example, like when I was setting up my Snapchat retargeting, just to retarget people and, have an omnipresence.
Yeah, just kind of be on different platforms.
My retargeting pool for like one of the stores is like 85K people.
Jeez.
And then like on the other store, it's like 72.
Yeah. It's madness.
So like, to be transparent, like, this should show you like how much people I reached in like a short amount of time very cheaply. And now I have this retargeting pool that I haven't even like tapped into yet.
Right. No, that's crazy. So for you, I mean, you have these stores that are absolutely killing it. They're growing quickly. You've, reached a very quick amount of a success on TikTok. What's kind of next for you, number one? And then number two, if somebody's looking at hopping onto TikTok, what would you kind of suggest for them?
Okay. So to answer your first question, like I know people who have experience with dropshipping, right? It's like, okay, you pop up a product, maybe it gives you income for 3 to 6 months and so on and so forth, and rinse and repeat. I've been in this for, about 3 years. Jonathan has known me for a while. Like me personally, I do feel burnt out because like that's what I've been doing.
Right.
And like at this point, these two products are very brandable products, and I'm taking the approach of like, okay, I'm not just gonna run it up and just get a quick bag and onto the next product. Like I really want to take this and really do this right, and so I don't have to do this all over again. Like and like pop off new products every so often.
Yeah. So like really build a brand.
Yeah. Like pretty much to put it into layman's terms, build a brand, and just really solidify it and just like have this become pretty much a sellable asset if I really wanted to.
I love that.
But at the end of the day, like me personally, I it's just too stressful for me at the end of the day. Like just, okay, I'm gonna test this product, this and that. Okay. Like this one didn't work. And like TikTok, it feels like 2017, 16, 18 Facebook ads. Me personally, again, this is just how I view it after just being in this game for a couple of years, is that please build a brand. Like,
Yeah.
please do. Don't go after a quick buck. Like, you'll make less in the short term, but long term, it's going to pay off.
Yeah, and making that money month over month is going to be more valuable than making a lot of money for a couple weeks or something.
Yeah, definitely. And the second question is,
it really just, if anybody was looking at hopping into TikTok and saying, okay, I want to try to reach some levels of the same levels that you've reached, what would you say would be the first steps that we should take?
I would say number one is like get familiar with the platform. Make sure there's this saying with TikTok that with the reps, don't make ads, make TikToks. Essentially, it's kind of cliche, but it's true. Like, some of my best performing ads are like TikToks themselves. They're really TikToks. It just so happen to have the product in the video.
Right.
And so I guess one piece of advice that I would give like potential advertisers on the platform is that I would say creative over media buying.
Really?
Yeah.
So really just getting familiar with the platform and almost like having like a Trojan horse of an ad, right? Where it's like, it doesn't even look like an ad.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it just is.
So like in my humble opinion, so for example, I've had times where I would scale a product on TikTok and like the CPAs, the cost per acquisitions, would double within like a couple weeks.
Right.
It just shows, and like my reps and even mentors that I've talked to and other people just say that, hey, like your CPAs, really do increase in a short amount of time. And what that really means is that you need to cycle in these creatives very, very often.
Right.
And so with that being said, it just shows how important the creative process is. So pretty much if you become a TikTok advertiser, you kind of become a creative director in a way.
Right.
Because, you have to like articulate to people or influencers on like, how do you want your creatives to be made? Because it's really the differentiating factor on if you're successful or not on the platform. With media buying, like it's very simple on TikTok. It's really very simple on TikTok. You honestly, in my opinion, you really have to purposely like not want to fail to like do media buying quote wrong on TikTok. It really just goes down to the creative. Obviously, like these variables, like your landing page, product, obviously that matters. Out of spending, I would say at this point a humble amount on the platform, it's creative over everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. And, we kind of see that a little bit. And, like we'll say, with Facebook, I'd say it's a good amount driven by creative. YouTube ads, it's wholeheartedly driven by creative. And so, yeah, it makes a ton of sense with TikTok. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it. I got a ton of value just from being here, and I'm sure the audience got a ton of value too. Where would they be able to find you if they want to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm Ariel Franklin 1, and then that's really my only main social media platform at the moment.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You need to get a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
bro.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like this show, don't forget to leave us a review and share it with a friend. That means the world to us. And if you want a free training on how we are growing our brand partners by 30% in 30 days, go to impactecom.com. That is impactecom.com for the free training. Again, that is impactecom.com. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.